Hey, what's going on, everybody? Commander Crane here, and we're back with another Pioneer deck tech. So today we're going to be talking about a Golgari Deathtouch aggro deck. I'm really excited to share this list with you. It's going to be really fun. It's a really great list to play. It's very unique. There's a lot of cards in this list that normally are not played in a lot of other decks, so I'm very excited to share this with you today. And as always, you know the drill. If you like the list, in the comments below, let me know. What do you like? What do you not like? Is there a list that you want to see me put on here? Just let me know in the comments below what you think. And as always, I will leave the deck description below. Well, leave the deck list in the description below. So, alrighty, we're going to hop right into it here. Golgari Deathtouch. So, obviously we're an aggro deck, playing a lot of creatures. It's a very unique aggro list in terms of, like, the type of what we're trying to do, and the cards that are played are not normally cards played in Pioneer. So, it's going to be very unique. So, first off, our 1-drops. Playing 4 Foulmire Knight. It's a 1/1 for 1 with Deathtouch. Or the adventure side, it's 2 and a black. Instant, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Just a very unique card. You know, it's simple. It's got the 1/1 Deathtouch, but then you can also draw cards late game if you need to. It's just really great value. I mean, even turn 4, you have 4 mana, you can draw a card, lose a life, and then just play a 1-drop. You know, not bad at all. So we're playing 4 of those. Then we have 4 Vampire of the Dire Moon. 1/1 for 1 black with Deathtouch and Lifelink. Just a really good value Deathtouch creature. It's just a great card to play. Also, secretly, this card being $2 a piece is kind of crazy. But anyways, so 2 Cheville Bane of Monsters. This is a really fun card. I haven't played a lot of, but it's a really great card. So 1/3 for green-black Deathtouch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on a creature planeswalker opponent controls. Whenever a permanent opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. So, just a really great value creature. All of your opponent's creatures, all of a sudden, whenever they're dying, if we have Cheville in play, we're going to be gaining life and drawing more cards. So, it's just a great value 2-drop. It's very unique. I've never seen anybody play this card before, and it's just really cool to play. So, now we have 4 Gifted Aetherborn. This card's nuts. 2/3 black, Deathtouch, and Lifelink. Just a really good value 2-drop. Does kind of what we want. It's got the Deathtouch, got the Lifelink. It's great. So, 4 Hooded Blightfang. This is the card that makes this whole deck hum right here. So, it's a 1/4 for black and 2 with Deathtouch. Whenever a creature you control with Deathtouch attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Whenever a creature you control with Deathtouch deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. So, obviously, this is kind of the main card that will make the deck hum with all of our Deathtouch creatures. You know, being able to just swing in and dealing damage without even having to actually, like, connect is really great. And again, with a life gain against other aggro decks is huge. It's a 1/4. It's a great body. And planeswalkers, all we have to do is poke them. We don't actually have to do full combat damage. We have basically Deathtouch for planeswalkers is essentially what this card is, which is just awesome. So, 2 Leyline Prowler. It's a 2/3 for green, black, and 1 with Deathtouch and Lifelink. We can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Just a really great 3-drop to play overall. You know, it makes mana if we need it for late game. It's just a really great value card. Then we have 4 Nighthawk Scavenger. So, it's a 1+*3 for black, and 1. Flying, Deathtouch, and Lifelink. Nighthawk Scavenger's power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyard. So, for those who have played Tarmogoyf or know what Tarmogoyf does, it's kind of like a Tarmogoyf for your opponent. You know, with what you'll see soon, we have a little bit of hand attack, which is going to be really great for filling up our opponent's graveyard. And it just gets big. I mean, at worst, it's a 1/3 with Flying, Deathtouch, and Lifelink, but this card gets big, you know? Once creatures start hitting the graveyard, instants and sorceries for discarding different cards from our opponent, all of a sudden, this card's going to get really big really fast. So, it's just great, and it's going to be... I'll explain why it's a little bit better, even with another card that we're playing here soon. You'll see why we're playing a really low to the ground. So, spells, 2 Fatal Push. Black, instant, destroy target creature. If it has CMC 2 or less, destroy a creature, or has Revolt, destroy that creature. If it has CMC 4 or less if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. So pretty simple. You know, if a creature dies, it can hit something 4 or less. Really, it's an instant speed kill spell for 1 mana. We're playing 2 of them. 4 Thoughtseize. Black and 1 sorcery. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card, and you lose 2 life. So obviously, Thoughtseize, it's just the best hand attack spell in the game. We're playing Black and Pioneer, so obviously we're going to play 4 Thoughtseize. This card's just awesome. 2 Abrupt Decay. Black-green. Instant. Can't be countered by spells or abilities. Destroy target non-land permanent with CMC 3 or less. Just a really unique removal spell, you know, being able to not just hit creatures. It is 3 CMC or less, but there's a lot of relevant cards in the format. I mean, realistically, this is going to be able to hit pretty much every deck in some way. So we're playing 2 Abrupt Decays, and we're playing 2 Assassin's Trophy, kind of the other main Golgari rare destruction card. Green and black, instant. Destroy target permanent an opponent controls. Its controller may search life for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield. Yep, we're giving them a land, but being able to get rid of anything is huge. We can give a creature, a planeswalker, an artifact, an enchantment, a land. You know, like if we need to blow up a Nykthos or a Thespian stage, we have that option. So, Assassin's Trophy, awesome card. Then we have 4 Collected Company, which is the main reason why we're playing a bunch of 1, 2, and 3 drops. So green and 3 instant. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 2 creature cards with CMC 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of your library. So, I mean, this card, it's just so good. I mean, if you're playing a low-to-the-ground green aggro deck, it's the best card you can be playing pretty much in the entire deck. You know, being able to just get 2 creatures, the best 2 creatures from our top 6 cards is just amazing. So we're playing 4 Collected Companies. Card's just stellar. You gotta play this card. So lands, we have 22 lands. So I'm not going to go over the lands too much other than the unique ones, but it's pretty standard mana base for the most part. So we have 4 Blooming Marsh. It's a black-green dual land, nothing special. 1 Boseiju. Great green land. You know, you can channel it for green and 1, destroy an artifact, enchantment, or a non-basic land. Our opponent controls, they get to get a land with a basic land type. Just great overall. It's free. 4 Darkboard Pathway, just the green-black flip land. Just obviously, you know, we want a lot of dual lands. Just 1 forest, just 1. Then we have 2 Hissing Quagmire. So it's a tap land, adds black or green. Then we can tap black, green, and 1, and it becomes a 2/2 black and green Deathtouch Elemental, which is just great because, hey, guess what? We're playing a Deathtouch deck, and we get a Deathtouch dual land. Of course we're going to play this card. It's a slam dunk. We're just playing 2 of them because it is tap land, but absolutely excited to play this card. 1 Hive of the Eye Tyrant. If you control 2 or more other lands, enters battlefield tapped. We can tap for a black, or tap 3 and a black, turn it into a 3/3 with whenever this creature attacks, exile target card from defending player's graveyard. It's just a great man land to be playing. We're just playing 1 of them. Doesn't have Deathtouch, but it's still really good, and it has Menace though, so it's still a very good card. 2 Lair of the Hydra. Kind of the same thing effect as Hive of the Eye Tyrant, except it taps for green, and it's X and green. We can make it an XX green Hydra until end of turn. Just an awesome card. We're playing 2 of them. It's essentially free. Really excited to be playing Lair of the Hydra. Then we have 4 Overgrown Tomb. It's an amazing green-black dual land. We're playing 4 of them. 2 Swamps. And then we have 1 Takenuma. So, similar to Boseiju, it's the channel land, 3 and a black, discard Takenuma, mill 3 cards, then return a creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. Obviously, it's really great for, you know, if we're having a really, really grindy battle, being able to, you know, get back our best creature from our graveyard. It's a really great effect. And, of course, it's free. It's a channel land. It's free. So, that is the main board here. We're going to move to the sideboard. So our sideboard, we have 3 Tormod's Crypts. You guys know how much I love this card. 0 mana artifact. We can tap it, sacrifice, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Enough said. It's great. Gets rid of the graveyard, and we don't have to commit any turns to doing it. 2 Duress, just for a little bit more hand attack. 1 black sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, and that player discards that card. 1 Pithing Needle is a catch-all. 1 mana artifact. As it enters the battlefield, choose a card name. activate abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Shuts down a number of cards in this format. You know, it shuts down planeswalkers, shuts down problematic activate abilities from like creatures. You know, you can shut down like a Thespian Stage. You can just do a lot with this card. It's just great. One more Assassin's Trophy, just for decks that have very specific to answer threats. You know, bring it in against like mono green for more, you know, get rid of the Nykthos, that kind of thing. It's really just a really flexible. If we want more removal, we just bring in the trophy. 3 Damping Sphere, 2 mana artifact. If a land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces colorless instead. Each spell a player casts costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that players cast this turn. TLDR, we bring it against Phoenix, and we bring it against mono green. That's what we're bringing this in for. It's really great at shutting down the Nykthos. We also do bring it in against Lotus combo. 1 Golgari Charm, black-green instant. Choose 1. All creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. Destroy target enchantment, or regenerate each creature you control. It's just a really, really, really flexible card. Overall, you know, if our opponent's playing a bunch of, like, if they're playing, like, elves or goblins, we can do the -1/-1. Destroy an enchantment. If our opponent is playing relevant enchantments, we can bring it in. But the main reason we're playing it is to regenerate each creature you control. It's a really, really great way to survive, like, a Supreme Verdict for the control decks, that kind of thing. It's just a great card to play overall. We're playing 1. Should we play 2? Quite possibly, but we just have 1 right now. 2 Scavenging Ooze. 2/2 for green and 1. We can tap a green, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a 1/1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and we gain 1 life. It's just great. It's great against like mid-range decks, good against control decks, honestly good against other aggro decks. It's great against graveyard decks. Overall, it's just a really, really flexible card that we're able to hit off of Collected Company, which is a plus as well. And then we have 2 Ultimate Price. So it's a black and 1 instant, destroy target monocolored creature. It's just more removal for when we need it, essentially. I think of all the 2-mana effects, I want to say Ultimate Price is probably the card I think is the best, but there's a lot of different options. You could play Ultimate Price, you could play like Infernal Grasp, you could play Cast Down, you could play Power Word Kill, really whatever, you know, floats your boat, you can play that in this slot. So, that is Golgari Deathtouch for Pioneer. Overall, this list is just, it's very, very unique. At least compared to other aggro decks. There's a lot of different kinds of aggro decks in the Pioneer metagame. In this, I mean, there's so many unique cards, you know, like no one's really playing Foulmire Knight or Vampire the Dire Moon or Chevelle, or really any of these cards no one's playing, especially Hooded Blightfang. Like nobody plays Hooded Blightfang. So it's a very unique twist on Golgari. Golgari's typically more seen as a mid-range color, but in this case, we're playing aggro. It's just a really fun list overall. I'm really excited to play this. And also worth noting, $319. That's going to be about middle of the pack in terms of, you know, cost for buying a Pioneer deck, which most of the cost is essentially only in a couple cards. It's in the Dual Lands, the Collected Company, and the Thoughtseize. You cut those cards out, this deck overall is fairly inexpensive overall. So, well, that's Golgari Deathtouch. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. Once again, as a reminder, what do you like about the list? What do you not like about the list? Let me know in the comments section. The deck list will be in the description below. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. I'll see you in the next video.